everybody, it's Linnea. Welcome to the ThermOWeb and Reverse Confetti Collaboration Week. For my video today, I'm going to be showing you two cards with a variety of products from both ThermOWeb and Reverse Confetti. And both of these cards today are pretty quick cards. Neither one of them require heat. A lot of times I get asked questions about the ThermOWeb products, and a lot of you don't have laminators, and a lot of you feel intimidated to create with ThermOWeb products without a laminator. So these two products today will show you really easy ways to do so. So to start off with here, I have the Emerald Green Flock Transfer Sheets. And this is the center frame cover panel die from Reverse Confetti. And it doesn't get much easier than this. I simply die cut this emerald green flock. You can die cut it just like paper. You don't need to transfer it or anything, just cut it out. Now it has those little peek throughs on the sides and tops and bottoms, and so I thought it would be fun to have some gold peeking through to the front of the card. So I have here, it's an iCraft 6x6 easy cut adhesive sheet. It's a big long name to say it's a double-sided adhesive sheet that will easily die cut in your die cutting machine. I'm not going to be die cutting it today, but this is my sheet adhesive of choice. I wanted to cover an entire A2 card panel with this gold Deco foil transfer sheet. So I first covered a piece of cardstock with that iCraft Easy Cut adhesive, peeled back that backer layer, and then I'm going to lay the adhesive into the foil. Now when you're adding foil, you want the adhesive to touch the dull side of the foil, so the back of the foil. If you're laying your cardstock on your table with your adhesive up, then you want to have your pretty side of your foil up. I find the best way to transfer foil is with a die cutting machine, just a regular die cutting machine. So to do that, I placed my foil with my double-sided adhesive cardstock into my die cutting machine, but I used a piece of typing paper folded in half just to protect the foil, because you can see here that the foil will kind of get roughed up a little bit. My die cutting machine or my die cutting plates rather, they've been through the ringer. I use them and use them and use them again, so that extra piece of typing paper just helps protect the foil just a little bit. Now I'm going to be adhering that emerald green die cut flock piece on top of the gold foil, and to do that I'm using iCraft Ultra Bond liquid adhesive. It's my favorite liquid adhesive. It holds on tight, but it does give me just a little bit of time to wiggle things around and get them in place. I'm working now with the Home for the Holiday stamp set from Reverse Confetti. I'm going to stamp that out. I'm using Nina cardstock. That's my favorite cardstock for Copic coloring. Use what you love to use. All I'm going to do is some quick and easy Copic coloring. I'm starting by adding some snow onto the tops of these little, they're going to be shops. I think they could be houses, but I'm going to make them little shops. And then I will come in with some earth browns and color in the roofs. As I color, you're going to see that I did leave the actual outside portion of the house, the main portion of the house, white, but in the end I changed it. I like to have neutrals when I'm working with bold colors like that emerald green flock as well as that gold foil. There's a lot of color there, and I wanted to have something neutral. My favorite neutral is white or a cool gray, so I thought that I would leave the houses white. But in the end, as I was looking at them, it was just too much white. So I did end up using a few more earth brown colors, just that were lighter than the roof colors that I used. And I colored in the outside portion of the house. I'm going to be coloring with red as an accent color. That way I'll have that traditional red, gold, and green color palette. I'm using the coordinating Home for the Holidays dies from Reverse Confetti, as well as a bit of purple tape to cut these out. This is that new formula of purple tape. I love it because I have never had it tear my cardstock. You do just want to give it a little bit of pressure as you run it through your die cutting machine. That way it will adhere to your paper and your dies won't move around. It's time for me to now just put this little scene together. I'm going to be using some Gina K Designs foam squares. I have two types of foam squares that I like. I like these ones in particular because they're a little bit thinner, so they allow me to kind of control the dimension, and so this will be easily mailed. I did also add a little bit of iCraft Ultra Bond liquid adhesive onto those foam squares because I'm adhering onto the flock. I wanted to make sure that that was going to hold on nice and tight. So that was card number 1. Let's move on to card number 2 using another product from ThermOWeb. I have a stencil from my stash that I'm going to spray lightly with Pixie Spray. This is just a temporary adhesive, and then I'm going to tack this onto a piece of green cardstock. This is, like I said, temporary low-tech adhesive, so as you can see here, I need to get my cardstock panel lined up straight, and it just wasn't working for me, so I can easily peel that on and off, and it's not going to hurt my cardstock at all. I'm going to be using the gold Glitz Glitter Gel. Just taking a palette knife and stirring that up. You saw there in the beginning that the Glitz Glitter Gel does separate a little bit. It's totally normal because the glitter is separate from the gel that it is suspended in. So if that separates, just give it a quick stir. And then I'm going to add some to my stencil, and I will use my stencil pal. This is like a wide, flat, almost like it's a palette knife is what it is, but it's the stencil pal. It's wide, and so you can cover your whole card base all at once. I like to kind of spread it on, make sure it gets all the way to the top and all the way to the left and right, and then I'll hold my stencil pal at an angle and pull it down, getting even coverage of that Glitz Glitter Gel across the stencil. I can easily peel that back, and here you can see, look at that gold Glitz Glitter Gel on that green cardstock. So now is time to build my images. So this is the Lantern Editions stamp set from Reverse Confetti. I stamped that onto some Bristol Smooth cardstock with a black pigment ink, and I am adding clear embossing powder. I'm going to be watercoloring with these Careen brush markers. This is only my second time ever coloring with these. I've had them on my desk for a few months now and only used them once, and I thought that I would use them again. So I stamped out this little poinsettia kind of bundle from the Lantern Edition stamp set 5 times and clear heat embossed it. I like to do clear heat embossing when I'm watercoloring because it helps to hold in the color into the individual wells, so it prevents me from getting the color outside of the lines. My idea is to color and cut all of these separate little boughs of the poinsettia and the leaves and such, and then I will put them together in a circle to form a wreath. I'm not very quick at Copic coloring, so since I had to do 5 of these images, that's why I reached for these brush markers. It's quick, it's easy, and it's a great way to add down vibrant color. So I just add down a little color, and then I'll use my water brush to pull that out towards the edges, and that gives me great dimension. Now I'm going to use the Lantern Editions coordinating dies and cut them out. So again, I'm just positioning that die over the image, and then I'll use my purple tape to hold that in place. Once again, you do just want to give that purple tape a little bit of pressure. This is a pressure activated tape, and that way your die won't shift as you run it through the die cutting machine. So I did that for all 5 of those little arrangements there, and then I put them in a circle in a wreath shape on my Glitz Glitter Gel background. And once I got them the way that I wanted them to be, I'm going to use some purple tape to pick them up so that they don't move, and I can work with them as one die cut piece rather than 5 individual die cut pieces. I wanted it to be one wreath that I could work with all together. This is a trick I use all the time with the purple tape. It helps me to get the arrangement right the first time and then not have to mess with it again. So I went ahead and added more of those foam squares to the back, along with a little bit of the iCraft Ultra Bond liquid adhesive, and I also popped a sentiment in the center of that wreath and added a few gems around my wreath image here. So this is the second card, and that completes my 2 cards for the Reverse Confetti collaboration. I hope you enjoyed seeing these 3 ThermOWeb products, the Deco foil transfer sheets, the flock transfer sheets, as well as the Glitz Glitter Gel without having to use a laminator. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you very much to Reverse Confetti and to ThermOWeb for this collaboration. I'll see you later. Bye!